Welcome back to We Like That podcast.
Because we like that. I'm Joe.
And I'm Calvin,
Welcome back to We Like That podcast.
because we like that.
All right, we jump into That Happened.
That happened with Joe.
All right, I watched A Toxic Love Story on Netflix. It's currently there. Supposedly their number one documentary right now. And it is a heck of a trip. It's a good doc if you have the time to watch it. And it's not long. It's not long at all to watch. Essentially, we dive into the story where we meet this this deputy U.S. Marshal. His name is Ian Diaz. He's been single for a little bit. Okay, he's got a bestie. This girl, that's his bestie. He's talking to her about how he can't wait to find the next one, and he kind of finds her in this lady named Angela. Angela Connell is like everything he's ever wanted in a significant other. He finds her beautiful, and she's carefree, and they get along well, and they start living together pretty quickly. Not too long into that relationship, Angela finds out that she's pregnant with twins. He's ecstatic. He's got the picture of the ultrasound up on the fridge, and they're planning their life together. Then we find out Angela also is in another relationship with another U.S. Marshal. And according to that guy, she is battling leukemia. She's battling blood cancer. And he wants to be there for her while she's going through her treatment and everything else because he's found such a quick connection to her. When he is with her, she's constantly layered in a bunch of like covers and hats because she's constantly cold due to all of her treatments. Except, come to find out, she doesn't have cancer at all. She is faking it for whatever reason. She's completely lying about it. And his friends pick up that she's not being very truthful about things. They notice that the quote unquote bald head that she struggles to keep warm actually has a bunch of hair under the beanies she's wearing. So they're like, what is going on? And they start diving a little bit deeper. They start calling the hospital where she's supposedly getting her treatments. And the hospital's like, we don't have any patients by that name.
I thought, I thought there's HIPAA laws.
There's HIPAA laws to ask about like health statuses, but the friends are calling like, hey, my friend is getting chemotherapy. I'm supposed to pick her up after her treatment is done, but I can't get a hold of her. Do you have anybody by this name there? And they're like, no. So
These bastards, boy.
So they have a sit down intervention with her. Like she walks in and it's being videotaped where this other marshal is there with a bunch of his friends. And he's like, Angela, we've noticed that you've been lying to us. We have this, like they have these points of reference and it's everybody staring at her and it's her going, I don't know what you're talking about. I am sick. And they're like, well, show us your port. Because if you do chemotherapy, typically you've got a port that's basically almost like surgically installed into you so that it's easier to access the treatment. And her port valve is literally just like a Band-Aid. So it comes up, it unravels pretty quickly that she's lying about everything. And they just can't figure out why she's lying to such a degree. Go back to her now dating this other marshal where she says that she has these twins. Turns out she's lied about the twins. She's not pregnant with twins whatsoever. She did a Google image search on an ultrasound, picked one, and ran with it. And this other Marshal, Ian Diaz, is realizing that she's lying. So it's him calling her over and over, being like, we need to talk. I know you're not pregnant. I need to know why you're lying about this. Then it comes out that Angela is, quote unquote, in hiding because she's felt threats to her life. She's been getting email messages and been cyberbullied by somebody calling themselves Lilith. And it paints a picture that Lilith could be this woman named Michelle Hadley, who used to date Ian. And under Lilith, she is threatening Angela, saying that she's going to come after her and her twins that we now know don't exist. By the time they did not know that. And it escalates to a point where they're on Craigslist for like a connections link. If you don't know, or for whatever reason you're listening to this and you don't know what Craigslist used to be. Craigslist used to be where people had casual hookups in addition to selling things. It was a very crazy time. But you could go on Craigslist and say that you're looking for X, Y, and Z in a scenario for a person for a casual sex meetup. And in this particular situation, the person posing as Lilith posts in the rape fantasy forums that they're looking for such and such to be a part of a rape fantasy that they want to have done. And it's geared towards Angela, who's now terrified. They've taken it to the police now. Felony charges are being pursued against Michelle Hadley, who it turns out is Ian's ex-fiance. And the story that unravels from that is that she is this obsessed, what's the word? Basically, like, she really wants Ian back. She's this obsessed ex-fiance who's obsessed with him still and is willing to do anything and everything to get back with him. She ends up being held until they can set a trial date for her charges. She says she's innocent of all charges. No one believes her. Then it comes out that Angela's a liar. Angela's lying about all the things. She lies about all the things. So then they have to look at those charges again. Michelle Hadley stays in basically a holding cell for 88 days while her parents scramble to get fees together for her lawyers till they can figure out what's going on. They're blindsided. They're like, Michelle's not capable of doing all this stuff that they keep saying that she's capable of doing. But the local police, the Orange County Sheriff's Office, they basically say that they have everything they need to press the charges, and that's exactly what they did. But then it comes out that Angela's lying. And then Michelle gets to speak her truth a little bit more. All of this reaches DOJ. This reaches the Department of Justice because as a U.S. Marshal, Ian and the other guy that Angela was messing with, they fall under their jurisdiction. So now they've taken an interest in investigating what exactly has been happening around these. Are they officers or just marshals?
They're police officers, but they're just marshals.
Okay. So they start their own investigation. And as they start their own investigation, there's more pieces to the puzzle that aren't making sense that keep popping up. Like what Michelle is saying about Ian. Michelle gives her testimony about Ian, and it paints a starkly different picture than what he had been presenting this whole time as like this guy who had fallen in love and was about to start a new life with this new woman. Instead, it's somebody who had a particular kink that he pressed on his partner and who found herself unable to say no to him. Ian basically wants to be a cuckold. He wants to have his fiance be with men of his choosing, and he wants to watch, essentially. Michelle really paints this picture, and her parents paint this picture, that she comes from like a very sheltered, like Christian household. Like she doesn't really do a whole lot of anything. Ian was her first boyfriend ever, period. So he was her first for a lot of different things. And while at first she told him that she wasn't interested in participating in his little cuckold fantasies, she eventually gives in because he is relentless. He doesn't stop asking her. And he doesn't stop manipulating her by saying that if she really loved him, if she really cared about him, she'd do this.
If he really loved me.
Okay. That is vocal stimming. So she gives in. He chooses somebody off of Craigslist, and she is distraught after the whole experience. It's not a positive experience for her whatsoever. She never wants to do it again. And she feels like he'll never ask her again because she said yes the one time. But of course he asks again and again and again. And she finds herself kind of spiraling into this place that she doesn't want to be. She doesn't feel safe. She notices that his behavior becomes even more controlling after they've participated in this incident. He is tracking her location almost like at all times. If she deviates from her usual routine in any way, he's quick to call her or text her and just be like, what's going on? What are you doing? She feels suffocated. by him. And when she tries to leave him initially, he almost like refuses her outright, but eventually she breaks up with him. She doesn't realize the extent of how much being with him and what he's pushed on her to do has affected her mentally. She has an episode where she loses a lot of time randomly and finds herself in a whole different state, wandering. An indigenous family finds her wandering the deserts of Arizona. And she ends up having to be like committed to a hospital stay so they can figure out what's going on. And she gets diagnosed with PTSD and dissociative disorder. And then after all of that happens to her, she then gets arrested because Angela has said that she's stalking her as this cyber name named Lilith. DOJ gets all of this testimony together and they realize Lilith is not Michelle. Lilith's IP tags and things that are tracing are are from somebody else. What are you doing?
While we was watching it, I asked you, when she had suffered PTSD, you said that was after she came out of jail, he was still stalking her.
Yeah.
But you just said she left him and she thought he was still.
No, I said after they broke up, she had a manic episode, basically. But it was after she got arrested.
After that, she got arrested.
Yeah.
After she got out the hospital.
Yeah.
For the manic episode, she got arrested.
Yeah.
Okay. That's not what you. Sure. But it makes sense because she still felt that dude's eyes on her. So I'm not shocked that she had PTSD. That's just crazy.
Okay. Okay. So anywho, the point is every time she thinks she's done with him, she's not, because something else happens, essentially, is what keeps happening. So DOJ's doing their investigation. She's out of jail at this point. The charges have been dropped and she's been exonerated because Angela has been picked up for all kinds of insanity, for all her lies, basically. So their focus, at least locally, the Orange County Sheriff's focus is now on Angela. Then it turns out they also have to focus on Ian. Ian is actually Lilith. Ian actually sets up this whole conspiracy with Angela to frame his ex. DOJ basically surmises that Ian did this because he couldn't control Michelle. This was a person that he was able to manipulate for a very, very long time, who got out of his grasp. And to punish her, he creates this insane story of her being a bitter ex who's now stalking his new fiance and coming for their children. None of which is true. Maybe the fiance part, kind of true, but everything else they make up. Because he's a U.S. Marshal, he knows how to structure his argument to show that he has all of these quote unquote proofs. Orange County sheriffs do not do a full investigation after he basically piecemeals to them how Michelle is supposedly doing all this stuff to them. We see video footage, I guess, from the cops' cameras, their vest cameras, of their interactions with Ian, and it's him showing them everything he's pieced together in his detective work about what's been going on with Angela. We also see that he's had to meet with the sheriff's office more than once. Initially, they're like, we can't really do anything. This is just her saying things. So they escalate it more in Lilith's quote unquote actions. The police still can't do anything because they're like, although it's disturbing, it's not anything illegal. And then they ratchet it all the way up to like the rape fantasy thing where she is out there potentially hiring individuals to come and sexually assault Angela, which also none is true. The way that DOJ is able to dissect and figure out everything is with almost relative ease. Like they very easily piece together who Lilith actually is, how this came to be, and why it was pursued pretty quickly. But the Orange County Sheriffs never did it. Eventually, Michelle sues the Orange County Sheriff's Office and wins a substantial amount of money, apparently. And the rest of the documentary is about how she figures out how to move on with her life. But at no point did I know what was going to happen in this documentary. It kept twisting and turning and changing every 2 seconds.
And she randomly got pregnant?
Not randomly. When you have sex, people tend to get pregnant.
She randomly got pregnant for some random dude. She's not with that guy.
Why is this pertinent?
Because
Because
they need to know all the evidence.
What evidence is that?
Her being promiscuous.
And men can't be promiscuous?
Men are whores. We already know that.
Oh my God. Anywho, the point is, this poor lady who went through all of this then finds out about the Lilith moniker that Ian was trying to like frame her with. And she kind of inversely is proud of this moniker. She sees Lilith as a strength character, essentially. This is somebody who basically went against the words of men that wanted to control her and found her own path. And that's how she takes it.
What happened was they had 2 letters or something she wrote to him when she was leaving him. And
She sent emails.
She sent emails to Ian when she was leaving him, and the police department took that as her being that woman.
Well, they took it as intent, for sure.
But
Ian also set up a lot of these accounts with her name.
Which, if they did a little bit of due diligence, they would have solved the case. Like I said, police don't solve cases. Criminals tell on themselves, or they luck into it.
Well, this particular criminal did not tell on himself, but DOJ got involved, and they were like, "We got nothing but time, so we'll go ahead and look into this."
What's your takeaway from that movie show, documentary?
My takeaway from this is that Michelle was very, very lucky. This could have resulted in a totally different way, a completely different way. Ian was unhinged. It could have ended in her death. It could have ended in her being locked away for even longer. She was very, very lucky that, one, Angela was an idiot, so she got caught up pretty quickly, but also, 2, that Ian wasn't able to escalate this any further than he had. That was my takeaway.
I don't know what he was trying. My takeaway is he took her innocence away from her. And 2, he must not have a lot of stuff to do at work to do all this stuff, because he was doing a lot. And to be a marshal, he must not be doing too much at work for him to be able to do all this stuff. To call her constantly, to check up on her constantly, to just show up where she was constantly while at work, or supposed to be at work. It's amazing to me. That's my takeaway.
My other takeaway, Ian, they've got Ian's best friend in here who says more than once that she is just a platonic friend. She's never been romantically associated with him, which is weird to me that you have to disclaim that more than once. She still kind of stands by his side. She understands that he did something terrible, but she still thinks that he's not a terrible person. And people are like, huh?
She don't think he did it.
No, she knows he did it.
She don't think he did it.
Okay.
I'm going by her response. She don't think she did it.
Her response was, he did something terrible, but I don't think he's a terrible person. That was her exact response.
He did something, but that the girl was the reason, or was doing something to him, was stalking him for real. She thinks she did all his stuff in retaliation to get away from her. That's what she thinks. She don't think he did anything wrong. Which, like you said, sounds like she's in love with the guy. But I digress. But yeah, my 2 takeaways is he stole that woman's innocence. Because she had, her interaction with the world was, I don't want to blame the parents. Because the way she was raised, I don't know. It's like she wasn't ready. But at the same time, too, how can you be ready for something like that?
Mm-hmm.
Also, so I don't know.
I think she just hadn't experienced the world yet. They were relatively young when they got together. She was in her early 20s when they got into their serious relationship. And again, she comes from a conservative family. I don't think it was anything out of the ordinary for her to think like, oh, I've met this person. He's about to be my person. And put her faith in all of that only for it to be terribly misplaced. So, I felt for her in that way. But yeah, that's called a toxic love story. It was really, really good. That's it for that happened.
That happened with Joe. Moving on to Worth the Watch. We watched Dark Side of Wrestling.
We did.
We went to, was this season 7 or did we do season 6?
This is the latest season. Season 7.
Season 7, we watched Samoa Joe match against
the
necromancer.
No, he's not a mancer. Butcher? Necro
Butcher. This was pretty much a match that took place in Philadelphia
at the old ECW
arena. Where
Necro Butcher is Samoa Joe.
And if you don't know, Samoa Joe was a up and coming wrestler who started to make a name for himself, I guess.
They were both the indie circuit. Yes, but he was on a different trajectory from.
They both started on the indie circuit, like she said, but Samoa Joe was on an indie circuit that actually was on TV, and he was actually getting some notoriety for his persona.
Mm-hmm.
What was the name of his?
Samoa Joe.
Wrestling.
Samoa Joe.
What's the name of his wrestling faction he was a part of?
Ring of Honor.
Ring of Honor. So he's on this big Ring of Honor. He's making a name for himself. He's a champion. He's been a champion for like 2 years at this point, something like that. So he's the guy. In the
indie circuits, yes. Who's about to be in the mainstream, yes.
Necro
Butcher
is this local guy who does these things called death matches. Where
he's not local.
What is he then?
I mean, he's also indie circuit, but he's not on the same trajectory. He's like the everyman versus
he's like on the local
celebrity
indie circuit for the most part. They don't have no TV, no nothing.
No, they do.
It's just word of mouth.
But he's not a part of a faction. He's not like how Samoa Joe's with a group called Ring of Honor. Necro Butcher's not a part of any group.
So he does these things called death matches where he pretty much just puts his body through hell. Basically, they like smash fluorescent lights on him,
staples, barbed wire, nails,
whatever you could think of, crazy, like a what do they call it? Anything goes match where you could use just anything.
No rules. Yeah.
No rules. You can use anything. 2x4s, trash cans, anything. He was known for those, and he would just put his body through hell.
Yeah. He wouldn't leave until he was a bloody mess. Absolutely.
But we go through his childhood, and the reason he can go through that is because he used to be bullied, religiously bullied as a kid. And he would just not let them know that he's hurt.
Yeah.
Or it's bothering him. Yeah. So that's how he would do it. And then to get away from that, he would watch wrestling with his dad. Him and his dad would watch wrestling. That's the time of him when him and his dad would get together, watch wrestling. Him and his dad was close.
Yes.
Eventually, his dad dies in a house fire.
Yes.
And it's a closed casket. And so he would just be sitting and watching wrestling and pretty much go to another place.
In his mind.
His mind.
It was his escape. Yeah.
His escape from what was going on, being bullied religiously every day.
But it's also how he learned to shut down, which I don't think is healthy. But he talks about flipping that switch. So he would flip it off, basically. So it didn't matter what they did to him. He wouldn't react. He wouldn't show that it hurt at all. And it inadvertently allowed him to create his career later as an adult.
So, how him and Samoa Joe cross paths is
Forums.
They end up doing some type of match.
No, the forums. That's how they cross paths.
But they end up doing some type of match where it's a bunch of no-name tag teams.
You're doing this wrong.
Necromancer's one of the tag team dudes.
No.
Another guy. Yes.
No. They weren't a tag team.
Him and this guy got in some tag team tournament or whatever.
First of all, the forums. They talk about how back in the day we didn't have social media the way we have social media.
Yeah.
So you had the forums.
That Samoa Joe would beat him or whatever. They never meant from that. That's not how they end up.
No, but that's how his name kept getting circulated. So anytime that Necro Butcher was making the rounds locally, there'd be conversations about how he probably could go up against Samoa Joe. It very much became like he was an underdog and Samoa Joe was
the top dog.
The top dog. And it'd be interesting just to see these two parallels actually meet up. The opportunity for that to finally happen is when they're at a family show and he's there with his friend. Initially, they weren't supposed to be a tag team. They were supposed to be doing the show. He said, I'm here just to get the money. It was supposed to be one-on-one. It became a tag team because he basically took the opportunity to pair up against Ring of Honor's new trainees that had come to that event as well.
A group of other wrestling things, whatever, too. So they all got together. And what happened was they ended up getting paired with the Ring of Honor trainees.
Yes.
And they pretty much destroyed those guys.
They didn't end up getting paired. They asked to be paired with them.
Okay.
That's why people were saying they took advantage of them.
So they end up destroying those trainees.
Yeah. Because they go, even though it's a family match, they go no rules. So it becomes a blood match. And it creates quite the scandal among the wrestling community. Because they don't know. There's a lot of discussion of, did Necro Butcher take it too far? Was this all in the spirit of wrestling? Like, what exactly is going on? Because they're watching these guys get knocked out, start to bleed. And the Ring of Honor trainees are like, we had no idea that this was going to be happening. We lost consciousness several times. We had no idea.
This is pretty much like she said. They knocked them out. Like, for real. So, that gets back.
That spreads more rumor.
So, then...
Because Samoa Joe is connected to Ring of Honor, and they're like, oh, he's their trainer.
Yeah. And which...
Wasn't true.
Samoa Joe goes, that wasn't true.
I've never met these guys.
Samoa Joe goes, what happened was they told me to cut a promo.
Yes.
To defend these guys. So I just cut a promo. I didn't think it was going to lead to nothing. So then I guess Necro Butcher started talking trash too.
He starts taking it personally for whatever reason. He starts memorizing different aspects of Samoa Joe's promo against him and kind of uses it as fuel to like get himself geared up and ready for hopefully he hopes for a match against Samoa Joe.
So then somehow they get a match. Samoa Joe said the only reason he went to Philadelphia because he was dating this girl who ends up being his wife. At the time, he just wanted to go get some sex.
There's another wrestling faction that is doing this in the old ECW Dome. I forget what his name. The man's name is Patty, but I forget what his faction is. But he puts it in place because he gets the cameras ready to tape it and everything. He wants this to be a big deal. He knows Necro Butcher, so he knows he can get Necro Butcher there. But he knew it was going to be a little bit more of a stretch to get Samoa Joe there. But like Calvin said, Samoa Joe was trying to get some booty, so he was like, "Okay, yeah, my girl's close to Philadelphia. I'll go out there." So he does, and it becomes the matchup of the century.
Him and his girl go out there, and he gets in a match, and pretty much he's like, I'm just going to do some stuff and then call it a day.
But he does talk about how their styles are vastly different. He's like, I'm going to go at it like, I forget what he called it, but basically like a mainstream match. You're going to get some elbows. You're going to get some pushing, like that kind of a deal. But Necro Butcher's like, nah, we're going to make it look real.
So Necro Butcher ups the ante, and Samoa Joe's like, okay, if that's what you really want to do, we can do it. So pretty much he gets Samoa Joe to pretty much start hitting for real.
Yeah.
For real.
Yeah.
There's a couple of times where they try to do moves on the floor.
And they're slipping and sliding.
After they went into the stands and knocked everybody's beer pretty much out their hand, getting everybody to get up and move. So now they're actually hitting their head on the concrete.
Yeah.
So eventually he headbutts Samoa Joe, and Samoa Joe's like, it
pisses him off.
You don't headbutt Samoan because that's a Samoan's pride move that they created or whatever. Samoans are known for headbutts.
But that's not what Samoa Joe doesn't say that. His friend says it.
Yeah.
Necro Butcher's friend says he shouldn't have done that.
But he says, and it's Samoa Joe goes like, yeah, you don't headbutt Samoans. That's what we do.
Mm-hmm.
We use our heads. So he headbutts him and pretty much busts him wide open. And now he's just bleeding profusely everywhere. It's like just blood.
Who's he? Which one?
Necro Butcher's just bleeding all over the place.
Mm-hmm.
So then they get back in the ring, and Samoa Joe starts slapping him, and he's slapping him, and the blood is just flying everywhere to the point where Samoa
it's spraying
into the crowd, and Samoa Joe's girlfriend just can't take it anymore. She ends up leaving because there's just too much blood and gore. Like his skin is literally flapping.
Necro Butcher's skin is flapping. That's Samoa Joe.
So pretty much at the end of the day, Samoa Joe ends up beating him. And Samoa Joe says to keep his characters, I guess, pride intact.
Mm-hmm.
He just puts his foot on the back of his head and throws him to the mat one more time, slams his head into the mat one more time.
Mm-hmm.
So Necro Butcher gets up and tries to chase him. And Samoa Joe just walks out.
Right.
To the back. And then he comes to the back. Necro Butcher comes to the back, and him and Joe slap it up, be like, great show, man. Amazing. Are you okay? He's like, yeah, I'm good. So then the Necro Butcher had to get patched up because he had another fight that same night.
Yeah.
So he ends up going right back out and fighting again, even though he was kind of knocked out that other match.
Yeah.
Because he hit his head straight on the concrete. So, and that's pretty much the fight of the century. For the most part.
Really liked this episode because I liked that they touched more on the indie side of the house. We usually get most of the mainstream, WWE, AEW, yada yada. Samoa Joe's currently with AEW. Samoa Joe was with TNA. But I liked that they touched on the nuance of how indie also continues to shape wrestling, especially in terms of how it moves to the mainstream. Necro Butcher stays an indie wrestler his entire career. He ends up facing cancer. He ends up facing like some very harsh medical consequences from everything that he's been doing. Survives it and is still wrestling right now.
He ended up getting called up to one of the big
factions
for a little bit.
Okay.
And it's pretty much he made his mark doing the same thing he was doing before he got there. Then I guess he eventually got let go.
Mm-hmm.
And then, like she said, he went through cancer, and he's like in his 50s, something like that. And he's still wrestling, doing the same thing to this day.
Yeah.
Which is
insane.
Unhealthy.
But maybe healthy for him. Maybe it's healthy for him. Because he's still moving around. He still has a little bit more. He's definitely got more fluidity to him than like anybody. Kirk, Angle, what's the guy I'm thinking of right now? The dead guy. What's his name?
Jake the Snake?
No. Not Gravedigger. WWE, he's known for death. He always comes out of a coffin. Undertaker.
Wow.
Yeah. Gravedigger. Same thing. So.
Sure. Gravedigger is the name of a monster truck.
Okay. It's also the name of a profession. Okay.
That's the big Gravedigger I know. It's a monster truck guy.
Did you watch Monster Trucks?
Yes.
Wow.
Because they had promos like the WWF.
They did?
Yes.
Wow.
There used to be this thing on Saturdays called Monster Truck Wars or Rally or something like that.
Uh-huh.
And say Gravedigger go up against Bigfoot.
Okay.
They'll do a promo where there's actually a Skeletor-looking guy just in a Skeletor suit acting like Gravedigger, the truck. And the truck is talking. And then all of a sudden, Bigfoot, a cowboy or whatever, will come out as Bigfoot, and he'll talk, and they'll talk trash to each other, like a regular WWE promo.
But they're personas of trucks.
Yeah,
interesting.
Literally, that actually made the show way better.
Interesting.
I'm not gonna lie to you.
You
know what? I'll show you one on YouTube.
Okay.
I'll show you one on YouTube, and then they'll go out and do like they'll jump across trucks or run the little maze they did or whatever.
Uh-huh.
See who do the fastest time or go against each other or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And they'll do that. My favorite truck, monster truck was Gravedigger. Bigfoot had enough attention. He had a goddamn video game and everything.
None of the other big enough attention.
Yeah, it was Nintendo. What's that Nintendo? It was like Nintendo something.
Super Nintendo?
Yeah, it was Bigfoot. It was an actual cartoon.
He had a show and everything.
Yeah,
Oh,
Bigfoot.
wow.
It was a black dude that played basketball. Look, he was from Double Dribble.
Double Dribble.
But he was a black guy who played basketball. It was him. It was the cowboy.
What?
And it was a kid who had the Nintendo gun. I don't know.
And this was a monster truck show?
It wasn't. It was a cartoon, and
Okay.
Bigfoot just happened to be one of the
Characters
for it.
Very
He was the
interesting.
vehicle. I think Kirby was in it too.
Who's Kirby? The pink thing?
Yeah, I think Kirby was in it too.
What is this fever dream?
I'll bring the it's an 80s cartoon. I'll bring the cartoon
It
up.
feels
Early
like an acid
90s,
trip.
80s cartoon.
Sounds like an acid trip.
I will bring it up. But yeah, we just went way off on a tangent.
Yeah, we did. You got real excited.
Anywho, but yeah.
But I liked it. I like this episode of Dark Side of the Ring. I love the shout out to the indie scene. Honestly, I really loved how humble Necro Butcher was. Like he never really chased fame just for fame's purpose. He wanted to create a story with reality in it, and he did, and continues to do so.
Then I got nothing else to say.
Okay.
Like I said, it was pretty good to see Samoa Joe actually fight that guy,
Mhm.
which really doesn't happen. Was amazing.
Mm-hmm.
So
And it's still heralded to this day as one of the greatest matches.
pretty much Necro Butcher was like, "That's my Madison Square Garden.
Yeah,
I know I'm never going to get to fight there. This was my Super Bowl
yeah.
for matches of all time."
And it's still talked about. Like they showed all the video clips of wrestling fans now who weren't even alive when it happened, dissecting this fight. So yeah.
And that was Dark Side Wrestling Samoa Joe Necro Butcher match.
Yeah.
Moving on to 90 Day, the OG Fiance, season 12.
All right, who's up first?
Thomas and Paula, were they on?
No. Well, they showed the preview for next week, but they weren't really on.
Asia and Maxwell.
Okay.
So basically, Asia and Maxwell kind of gets Maxwell's parents' blessing.
Kind of is the word, yes.
She's sitting there with Maxwell's mom, and she's giving her the gifts that she had for her and stuff. And Maxwell's mom said, "Yeah, you guys will have 4 kids." She's like, 3? She's like, "No, 2 girls and 2 boys." Well, 2 boys and 1 girl. 3? She's like, "No."
She said
4.
1?
So they have a laugh about that, I guess, kind of, sort of.
The laugh was, "Bitch, you're gonna make these kids," and it was Aisha being like, "No, I'm not," and the mom being like, "Yeah, you will." That was the laugh.
If you don't want to die. Then moving on to, so then after we get that, Aisha and Maxwell sit down and talk about how they're planning their little wedding, and he's like, "We're just gonna have family and friends for this one here, and then we get to the States, we have the big one or whatever." She's like, "Okay, cool." He like, "You don't want to invite your sister or something like that?" She's like, "Yeah, I'll invite them. I'll tell them." She calls her friend or
Her god brother.
god brother, and he lets her have it.
Yeah, he calls her a dumb bitch and everything.
And he's like, "We're on our way down there. I'll get your sister together. We'll fly down there, try to talk you out of this because this is just stupid." And pretty much that's Aisha Maxwell.
We're not gonna talk about how like they're rushing to get married because Aisha doesn't want to have to keep going back and forth. We're not gonna talk about that.
You can talk about it.
Okay, so there's that. She also feels like his family's still doing the most, but she's happy that they're kind of finding a middle ground. And she doesn't know where all this animosity is coming from when it comes to her godbrother. She's just like, I don't know what his problem is. And to be fair to her, he knows who she is. I also am surprised that he's taken it the way he's taken it.
Moving on to Debbie and Mito. Debbie's gonna get this wedding one way or the other.
Whether she has to kidnap Mito Whether he likes it or not.
So now they're in a good place, and we catch them canoeing down some dirty water in New Orleans somewhere. Who knows?
The canal.
They leave that and they go back home, and they're talking, and she's like, "So when are you gonna ask me to marry you?" And he's like, doesn't really say.
Did she ask when you're gonna ask me? I thought they already engaged. No.
I don't think they're engaged.
Oh.
So he's like, yeah, well, I don't know, whatever. She doesn't get the answer she wants. So she decides, I'm just going to push the envelope.
And by push, I'm going to fully kidnap him and drive him to the chapel.
She drives him to some house chapel. And they're walking through there looking. And he's like, this is not good. So the coordinator gives them time to talk about it, see if what they want to do. Because she said they have in 3 weeks.
Yeah.
And she's like, oh, okay. Let you guys talk about it, see if you guys want to do it here or have to use this venue or whatever. They go in the private room. She's talking to Minu, and Minu's like, hey, I don't know. I think it's time for me to go back.
He goes, we need to talk. He's touring the chapel. He's looking at her. He's had several confessionals with production at this point where he's like, I don't think we're ready to get married. I'm still finding my footing. I'm still trying to get my career off the ground. I don't think we're ready to get married. We're fighting every day. And then she takes him straight to that chapel. And this is after he tries to have a heart-to-heart with her about work. And I really don't want to have to side with a man, but Debbie makes it hard. She literally comes off of work knowing how he feels about being home, not doing anything. He's trying to get representation in the States for his acting career. And they're kind of telling him the same thing over and over. Like, there is promise there, but we need you to be more fluent in your English. And we need you to take more acting classes here.
Which is BS to me. Because
Okay.
Arnold Schwarzenegger still can't talk proper English.
You think Arnold Schwarzenegger and Mito are a 1-on-1 comparison? 1-to-1.
They're both their English are horrible.
That's the only thing.
Yeah.
I don't know if you remember Arnold Schwarzenegger's first roles. He didn't need to talk. They just wanted him to look away. That was it. Mito doesn't have that.
Whatever.
He only has talking.
He had lines. Get to the chopper. Whatever that was. Whatever that meant.
That was also later in his career.
Whatever that meant. So yeah, what Javon said.
Debbie is blindsided. She's like, oh, he's just using any excuse to get away from me. And I'm like, then let him. What is happening? Why are you trying to force this man's hand so badly?
So he tells her, look, I think it's time for me to go. Should he go where? He'd have back home. He didn't say to Egypt. He just said back home.
He clarifies to Egypt.
When did he do that? Because she ran out the room.
He says it after she runs out before she runs out the room. She goes, you have to talk now. You can't just do this. What do you mean go home? And he goes to Egypt. So he clarifies.
So then she runs out of there like she caught the Holy Ghost and then falls on the ground outside.
Right.
And now she's uncontrollable.
Inconsolable.
Uncontrollably crying. And she's inconsolable, as Siobhan said.
Uncontrollably.
Crying.
Anyway.
And sobbing. And that's where we leave Mito. He's still in the back room looking at the producers in the face. I don't know what to do. And that's Mito and Debbie. Katie and Josh.
Oh, yeah.
So they wake up trying to get to the airport, and Katie wants to take her sweet time. Because I guess at this time, you don't have to be in a line at a certain time to get to your
No, you do.
flight.
No, you do.
So Josh is trying to get her to pick up the pace, and she doesn't want to do it. So Josh pretty much leaves her and goes. And then I guess they meet at the airport. They get on the flight. They get to her parents' house in San Jose. I see why Katie is the way she is.
Okay.
Her parents are pretending like there's nothing wrong with her.
Well, they use a lot of like she's always been this way phrases. But they also paint her to be like this really selfish person. Her parents.
Yes. So they get there, the mom meets Josh, and she's happy with Josh, and she's enthralled with Josh for now.
Until she finds out.
So she's talking to Katie, like, yo, Katie, you need to do this, this, and this. And so Josh comes out and I guess cooks the sausage rolls or whatever he was cooking.
Okay.
They sit down for Easter and have a conversation. And the mom asks Josh, did they go to church or anything for Easter? Josh pretty much tells her he's not really the religious type or whatever. His family's not really that religious. And the mom just looks at him like, you're going to hell.
She says it.
So, and Katie's crazy behind him, like, so if I'm in heaven, he's in hell, can we still be together or something she was talking about?
Yeah.
And the mom looks at her like, that's not the time for this.
She's not even joking, though. She's dead serious. She's not joking. She's not even joking. The mom makes a quip about how her behavior, Katie's behavior, hurts other people. And Katie goes, you mean like murder? And she's dead serious. She's not joking. That lady's neurospicy.
So, and that's where we leave it at. Katie's mom taking back everything she said about Josh being good. Moving on to Marissa and Edward.
Mm-hmm.
Marissa and Edward pretty much get ready to go to one Marissa's friend's party. I don't know, is it a pool party? What? It's a party. She gets there and she's like, please don't talk about baseball, whatever, whatever. So she puts this man in this uncomfortable position with her friends.
Yeah.
And all her friends are like doctors, lawyers.
Yeah, well-to-do. Entrepreneurs.
Accountants. One does, I think, insurance or something like that. So he's talking to these people. So the only way he can relate, he's like, I'm trying to find something I can do. He doesn't want to say, I want to be in the hotel business or whatever.
Hospitality business.
Hospitality business, because that's what I do.
He should have said that.
Yeah. It'd have been better than trying to pretend like you want to be a baseball coach. So he's like, I want to try to be a baseball coach or whatever. So he's talking to him about that. So she goes, let me go over there and see what he's talking about. I hope he's not talking about baseball. She goes over there and she pretty much kind of embarrasses him.
Yeah.
So then she goes off with her friends and just have a nervous, starts breaking down crying.
It's a pity parade. She has a full pity parade with her friends.
For herself.
Yeah.
Because he's making her
not be the best she can be.
He's making her be mean.
According to her.
Oh, he's showing her how mean she is because he's such a nice person. Her argument doesn't make sense. So one, her friend is like, how about you stop thinking of what other people think? And I guess she doesn't pay attention to that.
She doesn't. She ignores that.
So, and that's where we leave them at. Her pretty much crying to her friends and her friends trying to figure out what's wrong with her. When she is, it's like she doesn't want to be in a relationship. She wants to be with somebody, but not with them.
Okay. What was your take on everything? Because she talks about how like she thought that what's his name?
Edwin
was going to be everything basically for her, but she's realizing that it's just physical and not going to touch on any of the mental stimulation she says that she needs.
All of a sudden, she wants mental stimulation. I'm like, I'm pretty sure her husband didn't did that neither. I'm pretty sure he did. So, I think what's happening is she's putting him around her friends, and she's seeing he can't he's not comfortable in that role.
Right.
So now she doesn't know how to handle that. Because in her mind, it's making her look bad because she's with this dummy or this uncultured or uneducated person.
My takeaway? Unless you have more to add.
No, I'm done.
My takeaway is that she likes being a victim. She enjoys being the center of attention when everything around her seems to be falling apart. I think she knew exactly what was going to happen when she brought Edwin back from the Dominican Republic. If you go back to that first episode where she was walking around saying that she runs the Say Yes to the Dress place, she was already on edge and nervous about him being there. My thought at the time was that it would be her realities crashing, her fantasy, tropical island fantasy now being in her life, which it kind of is that, but she knew exactly what she was getting into. She knew his background. She knew what he brought to the table in terms of what she wanted to be reflective of her.
Mental stimulation.
That's why she was so nitpicky and critical of everything he's done since he's been there, because she knows that he's not going to live up to her elevated expectations that change on a dime. The more people she talks to, who I think she genuinely does care about and appreciate, she knows they're going to be super critical, and she conflates that with them caring. I think she purposefully chose Edwin because he's going to be easy to get rid of. She can bring him on, she can get what she wants, meaning physically, out of that relationship, and she'll feel justified in ending things when they inevitably end, because now she's already talking about no longer getting married after he's already uprooted his entire life. She knew exactly what she was getting into, and I think she likes handling that kind of controlled chaos because it puts her in the spotlight, and that's why she keeps making the decisions that she makes.
That's Edward and Marissa. Rasette and Mallory.
Rasset.
So Rasette and Mallory goes to the same friend's house who were at the baseball game.
Yes.
For a cookout. What's their friend's name?
I don't know. Doesn't matter. The point is, Mallory is still mad at Rasset because he won't just get over it when it comes to Brandon, her bestie, who she feels is not overstepping any boundaries for her. She just feels like Rasset is being out of pocket. She's still upset that Rasset didn't take her prenup conversation well, which really wasn't a conversation. It was a declarative sentence. And she also feels bothered that he's almost always around her nonstop. She at least acknowledges that he can't do much right now, and he's going a little stir crazy because he's used to working. Because he worked a lot when he was back in Turkey to help take care of his family and himself, and now he doesn't have any of that, and he can't have any of that for a little bit. So she is at her wit's end, basically, and she's telling this to her friend. She also tells Rasset to try to be as amenable as you can with Brandon. The guys join them in the kitchen as they're having their discussion about the relationship. And Mallory turns to Brandon and is like, hey, I need you guys to tell Rasset to be okay with a prenup, because I'm trying to protect the money I got from my accident. It's in that brokerage account. And he just doesn't understand because Turkey doesn't have prenuptial agreements. Her friend's husband or boyfriend, whoever that man is to her, is the first to be like, wait, you want him to sign a prenup? And this is the same guy you brought here who doesn't have anything? And to everybody's shock and surprise, Brandon also stands up for Rasset and is like, I don't think that's fair. And we're all looking at him like, huh? What's going on? What do you mean? And then the men prepare to basically tear Mallory a new one. And they're just like, what are you expecting? He's completely here and devoted to you, and you want to immediately protect yourself from when you break up? That doesn't make any sense.
And it's basically like he gave up everything to come here. He has nothing.
Mm-hmm.
And you already assuming that it's not going to work. So why can't you put everything into him like he's pretty much put everything in you. It's
Yeah.
just not right. So Racid and Brandon go outside. They squash their beef. Now I guess they're cool.
Mm-hmm.
They go back in and finish the cookout. And that's where we leave it at.
Yep.
The women shocked that the guys don't want are not for the prenup. Shay and Annabelle. So they decide they're gonna take Annabelle to church.
Church loosely church.
They take her to
A mega church.
non-denominational church
They take her to a mega church.
where they whisper.
It's basically a pop music church. That's where she went.
And Annabelle is livid.
I wouldn't even say that she's livid. She's disappointed.
She is like, why are we still here?
Yes.
We're still going?
Like, she's fallen asleep.
She's yawning. She's like, I got to stand up again. I just stood up.
To be fair to her, that church was long. It was long. And it's not the church that she's accustomed to. She's a Roman Catholic, which is slightly different than regular Catholic. It's a lot more stricter. The whole time in church is spent devoutly praying. Like, it's mostly silent. And then she goes to this church where they're like, our God is an awesome God. Music break. So
she's like, get me out of here. So the church ends, and pretty much her and Shay's daughter go at it. And she's like, I don't want to be here. I can find my own Catholic church to go to. I can't do this.
She basically said, good for y'all, not for me. Like, thank you, but no thank you.
And Shay's daughter couldn't take it. So
I was cracking up.
They go at it. Annabelle calls her spoiled. Shay is like stuck in the middle. He's like, you guys calm down. Or whatever, whoop-de-whoop. And pretty much now, Shay's daughter is showing her true face, which she's been showing the whole time. And Shay said something that her daughter also got into his other relationship with Nicole, I think it is.
Okay, one of his exes. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And that's the reason that relationship ended up breaking up.
Mm-hmm.
So he's like, you got to quit it or whatever. So he gets back in the car, Annabelle. Annabelle is pretty much pissed. And that's it.
Yeah, that's it.
The faces she was making.
She wasn't making faces.
In that church was hilarious.
Does she have resting Filipino face? Yes.
It was hilarious.
Is it similar to a resting bitch face? Similar, but not the same.
Hilarious. They were like, hey, we're just going to sing some more songs to the Lord. Okay.
It was
worship. Let's just worship.
When they started singing and she looked around. She looked around at everybody.
Let's just worship.
I was dying.
And I'm like,
I was dying.
She had it. The first 30 minutes, she was done. It was like 30 minutes.
I'm sure she was like, okay, let's hear about what the sermon's going to be. And then when that guy started and she was like, oh no. Oh no.
She was like,
okay.
Why are you touching me? We have to hold hands. She's like, why are we holding hands?
Yeah.
Why do we have to hold hands?
We're not praying. What are we doing?
Why are we praying again? We just prayed.
No, she didn't even call it prayer. She just said, what is this?
Why are we standing up again? We got to stand up again? We just stood up. This is too much.
Which she would be accustomed to with mass, because that's what you do. But there's a lot more structure. And this is very much like, my name's Jim. I'm your pastor today.
Hi, I'm Greg, and I'm going to tell you about the Lord.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Turn to Philippians 5 and 6. We're going to stop there.
Not even turn. Not a single person had a Bible.
Get your iPods, your iPhones, and go to your Bible.
Yeah. Scan this QR code.
Also, to make for your donations for the offering, scan the barcode up there.
To her credit, she did go into a venue. Like, they're not in a church. They're not in pews. They're in fold-out chairs.
She's like, "What is first
in front of a stage?"
When she walked in, she's like, "Where are the? what are these?" There's no pews. What
They're literally in fold-out chairs in front of a stage. And she's like,
why is it?
What is this?
Musicians up there. Why are they up there? What's going on? So it was hilarious.
It was.
She was done with the first 15 minutes.
It was
She's
hysterical.
like, I'm ready to go. So, and that's Shay and Annabelle.
Yeah.
Anything else you got for the 90 day?
Nope, that's it.
Moving on to our final show, which is Love After Lockup. Starting with Rich and Felicia.
So Felicia tracks his ass down to Houston. Down to Houston like a psycho. This is somebody who's ghosted her and hasn't talked to her in a few weeks. I would never.
We get more insight into Rich. We meet his sister, and his sister
We met his sister before in Love During Lockup.
We meet his sister again, and she pretty much tells he's a runner. Anytime he gets real close or emotional to somebody, he runs.
Anytime he feels too vulnerable, for sure.
And that's what he's been doing all his life.
Mm-hmm.
And at some point, he's going to stop running and talk to her. Well, he don't have to run no more because she came to him.
Yeah.
She goes to the house first. He's not there. Then she shows up at the gym. And he's at the juice bar getting his workout in. Like Power Rangers.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Kicking at the
I'm gonna call it beanbag.
The heavy bag like Tommy. And all of a sudden he turns around, looks, and he sees Felicia standing there.
He's surprised.
And that's where we leave it at.
Yeah.
Next is Kristen and Brady. So Kristen goes over to Brady's baby mama's house, Corey, and they have a discussion, which doesn't lead to anything really.
Mm-hmm.
Corey's like, you don't know what was going on. Me and Javon have two different stances on Corey.
Okay.
I think the reason Corey's upset because Corey used to let him.
Corey's a woman, by the way.
Corey used to let him take the girls or bring the girls over to his grandparents' house.
Okay.
And he would leave them with the grandparents to go get high.
Mm-hmm.
And the kids will lie and say he's in the bathroom when really he's not even there.
Okay.
Or he's in the bathroom sick.
Okay. Or using. Or using.
Either or. So I think that's why Corey got upset.
Okay.
Your take or your angle is that you think she wasn't there neither.
Okay.
Could you
said expand
on that?
My angle is that she's dealing with a lot of guilt, and I think it's multifaceted. I think for me, the way that she said that basically his grandparents mostly had the girls makes it sound like she didn't have the girls. So the person that she was relying on to take care of her girls wasn't. And that's its own hurt. He was using, which is its own hurt. I feel like she probably, and this is my speculation, this is not fact, but this is my speculation, is that she also probably was using, or maybe in the process of getting clean herself, and feels like I was able to do it. I don't understand why he is not able to prioritize our girls and do it as well. Now he's got a whole new family. He's married to this other woman who keeps inviting herself into their business. And she's like, I don't appreciate this either. You know, what Kristen keeps bringing up, how like basically she had already had Corey agree to bring the girls for that little 2-day pass that Brady had. And Corey being like, the girls weren't comfortable, so, and I'm not going to force them if they're not comfortable. Do I think that Corey is using that as a crutch? Yeah, I do. But I also understand her not wanting to risk more harm on her girls because she still doesn't know the current state of Brady's sobriety. And she knows that it's tenuous. Sometimes he has it, sometimes he doesn't. And she doesn't want her girls to go through this like maybe sort of kind of thing. I think it's a bunch of those things all together. I don't know that she necessarily wants to get back romantically with Brady, but I do think that there's a bitterness that he could be on the precipice of actually being clean, and it's with this other person who keeps inviting herself into their business. That's my takeaway.
And that's Kristen and Brady.
What did you think of Brady being mad at Kristen?
Because
I felt he
So
was right to
then-
be. I felt like he was right to
So
be.
then Christian is doing her one-on-one with the producer, and Brady calls her and like, why did you go to Corey's house? You just made everything more difficult.
Mm-hmm.
And Kristen can't understand why that is.
Yeah, she can't.
But that wasn't your place, because now it makes Corey think that Brady can't handle his stuff himself.
Yeah.
So now she just overstepped her boundaries.
Yeah.
And I feel now she put Brady in a situation where, let's say Corey just want to be a dick.
Yeah.
She can now say he's not paying child support to send him right back to prison if she wants to.
Mm-hmm.
So she just opened up a whole can of worms that didn't need to be opened.
Okay.
And that's my takeaway.
I think Kristen's doing the most. She really is. She's really trying to rush them into being this family unit before anybody's ready for it. And it's just because she feels like they need to be. Like, for her to get everything that she's ever wanted, be in this loving, married relationship with their children, they have to move at this pace. And all it's doing is causing more trouble.
And my thing is, why, if your kid's baby's father is in their life, why do you need Brady to be there so bad?
She wants, and I think she wants like that stereotypical TGIF image of a family. Mom and dad in the same house, raising these kids, fighting over bills. Like, she wants that. She chose a guy from a crack house, so I don't know what her expectations are.
Like my mom said, people in hell want water. They can't have it.
But to Grady's credit, or Grady, whatever his man's name is, I feel like he's trying to do the best with what he got, honestly. He seems to be trying to take it a day at a time.
One day at a time.
Do you think he's going to be able to maintain his sobriety? No. Okay, well, I didn't even finish the sentence.
He's already on the stuff that's supposed to cut him, wean him off, and he's already
tweaking,
struggling with that. So,
but
we'll see. He might make it. Who knows?
I'm hoping he does. He, to me, at least from the little pieces that we've seen of him, he's the most like reasonable of the loved after lockup men's. So I'm kind of rooting for him.
Yeah, for now. But he's been the most even keel.
Yeah.
Charlie and Hillary. This is our new couple that was introduced last episode.
Mm-hmm.
This episode, we see him go to the county jail or wherever they go, and he picks up Hillary. He brings her outfit, gives her boots, let her put her boots on. They pretty much stand there for 20 minutes talking, and there's a group of girls cheering them on the whole time. And
inmates. They're inmates, by the way, not just random little girls. Just these are inmates.
And Hillary is like, I really didn't talk to anybody, so I don't know why these inmates are cheering me on while I'm leaving. I didn't talk to nobody. So I don't know what they're doing.
Mm-hmm.
So finally they get in the car, and he takes her to a Thai restaurant in the middle of town. Literally. A town.
Literally.
And he gives her dress to put on. He's like, you can go put your dress on in
the bathroom.
In the bathroom. She goes to the bathroom. Then she talks to the producer like, I need a cigarette. He doesn't believe in cigarettes, but I need one. He's a lot. He's a little too much. So she goes outside trying to bum a cigarette off somebody. Eventually she gets one. Smokes it. She comes back in, try to wash her hands to get the scent off, whatever. She puts the dress on. And Charlie's kind of upset because he's like, she's been gone for 30 minutes. Oh, I'm sorry. She comes back in and she's like, I've been trying to text my mom this whole time and I can't do it.
Mm-hmm.
Then she goes to the bathroom, try to wash her hand and get the smoke scent off. Then she puts on the dress and comes back. She asks Charlie to show her how to send a text to her mom. He sets it up for her and shows her. And he's like, what was this issue? Because she had to wait for like 30 minutes or something?
Yeah, she disappeared for like almost an hour for a long time. But then he helps her and he keeps it moving.
So, from what I can take so far is Hillary is about to run.
Yeah.
Charlie is too much for her. She just got out and he's like doing too much. She's like, I don't know if I'm be able to handle this. He's a lot. and he's moving way too fast.
He's also poor, and I think she can smell that on him.
She can smell the pour on him. So that's another reason she wants to get the hell up out of there. There was no D in Cyrus. Moving on to, let me see. There was no Kaylee and Michael. So moving on to our final couple.
Mm-hmm.
The trilogy of, or the trituple of, or kerfuffle of Goddess, Daemon, and Bonita.
Why do you say Daemon like that?
Because
Every
that's how
time.
he needed to get his name saying until he until you act right.
Oh my goodness.
Anywho, he calls them to a restaurant.
Mm-hmm.
Why? Why not? I like to be humiliated in public. Why not? Bonita pulls up. She goes to the hostess, goes to the seat. She's already setting up the water.
Yeah.
She gets a drink or whatever. Damon pulls up with Goddess. He tells Goddess, sit in the car and let me go talk. He goes in first to talk to Bonita.
Yeah.
It doesn't go well.
No.
Eventually he comes back, goes back to the car, gets Goddess. Goddess walks up, and Bonita's like, what the hell is this?
Mm-hmm.
What's going on? He's like, well, I got something I want to talk to you. He can't even get it out. And all of a sudden, before you can get out, Goddess is like, I'm gonna sit by her because Goddess already sees what's about to go down. Goddess sits next to Bonita. Bonita, hey, so who's that to you? I don't even know if she said that's my boyfriend or she said, I think she
said that's my man.
She said, I love him.
Yeah, that's my man. I love him.
And splash. Bonita throws pretty much a whole bottle of water on this dude.
Yes.
And leaves. Gets in a car. He goes out the car behind her. Why? Because he's a glutton for punishment. Goddess goes out, and Goddess gets in the car with Bonita. They lock the doors, and they pretty much drive around the block or the wharf.
Mm-hmm.
And they're talking. And she's trying to figure out what's going on. She's like, oh, really? So now they're talking. He's trying to run behind the car and see what they're talking about. You know they talk about you. Why are we
110%?
Like we don't know what they talk about. And I guess eventually they go back to the restaurant and they're going to sit down. And pretty much some more shit is going to get thrown on him.
For the finale.
For the finale, before Bonita leaves.
Mm-hmm.
That's where we are at now. Him pretty much drowning in water. Right now.
Drowning. Drowning. She was so smooth with it. She was so smooth. She refilled.
And then he has the audacity to look at God. She'd be like, why you ain't stop her?
You just gonna let her do this to me?
Goddess don't want them problems. Goddess do not want those problems.
Goddess was ready to get up out that seat at any second. So yeah.
Goddess do not want them problems. The fact that she mad at you and not me, that's a blessing.
Yeah, indeed.
In itself. Normally everybody get knocked out. So that's where we leave them at.
Yeah.
Him pretty much drinking a whole bottle of water that he didn't want.
His body drinking that whole bottle of water.
His thirst is quenched, and he's very much well hydrated. Him and his shirt.
From his head to his toes, he is well quenched.
And that was Love During Lockup.
I still say that they are arranging this. Because he took it on the chin way too well. I was ready for him to like Kirk out, but he just left.
He was trying to Kirk out,
mm-hmm.
but the girls got up and left. That's what threw it into. He's about to Kirk out. That's what like Goddess, why you ain't stop her? And he was like, "Where you going at? Where you going?" And Goddess got in the car, and he's running behind the car, trying to. I'm like, they're coming back.
I feel like overall, the girls already knew about each other to a degree. I am going to maintain my stance from Love During Lockup that these girls were like, let's get this bag. Let's not get mad at each other. Let's get even with him. And let's get this bag. And I'm going to maintain that.
Okay. I'm not saying you're wrong.
I think there's parts in there where Bonita didn't realize the extent of his lies. And she was having those emotional reactions to that. Being like, he really was playing in my face. He really was playing in my face. So, but we haven't seen Goddess have like a breakdown.
I don't think she's going to, because isn't she still with him?
Yeah.
So she's not.
Okay. So I guess my question becomes: do they get cool with each other, or he's just with both of them? Does he get his way, or does Benita bow out?
I think Benita bows out.
Okay.
I think he's just being. That doesn't mean he's still not looking for somebody else.
Mm.
But I don't think Benita. I think she bowed out. Hopefully she bowed out.
Mm-hmm.
I'm hoping she bowed out.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm hoping it's not a situation where she's like, "We'll see," and that door's still open.
She
I hope
did
it's
all.
not that.
You can't come back from this. You do all this on the show,
Yeah.
and then go back.
It's a lot. It is a lot.
And then your daughter's probably going to see this at some point.
Your daughter for sure is going to see this.
And that's, yeah. So that's I see it. I'll leave it at.
Mm-hmm.
We also watched the He-Man movie.
Yeah, we did.
He-Man
and the Masters of the Universe, the movie.
I see why a lot of people didn't like it. And the bad thing, and the thing about it is, it had a lot of action.
It did. It really did.
Now they did get kind of out of control. A little bit of CGI at one point.
Mm-hmm. But I wouldn't even begrudge it because it's a high fantasy concept. It's a high fantasy concept.
But making him go to spoilers. If you haven't watched it, you're not gonna watch it. So, but it is what it is. Having him go to Earth and then find out his mom's from Earth.
And they don't expand on that.
They don't explain how his mom ended up. And what's the name of the place?
Eternia.
They don't explain that
at all.
Why was Skeletor where he was and then decided he wanted to attack Eternia randomly?
Skeletor was the best part of that film.
They made everybody goofy.
Yeah.
When they could have just have Skeletor do the goof and everybody played a straight-laced character that they played in the cartoon.
Mm-hmm.
And I think the movie would have been better.
Mm-hmm.
Idris Elba as the arm.
Yeah, Man of Arms.
Man of Arms.
I felt like they could have done more with that, but whatever.
Yeah,
they did what they did.
He was goofy.
I liked him in certain parts, like when he was more serious, like during the training and his fight with the jaw creature.
Yeah,
I liked him in those moments.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. He could have played the straight-laced like the guy and maybe crack a joke. But they had him laugh like the cartoon for like 20 minutes. That was just uncomfortable.
Wasn't 20 minutes. Okay.
It was just uncomfortable.
I did appreciate a lot of the, what's it called, breadcrumbs for the original material. I love that they did that. There was a lot of shout out to the original source material.
I like how they kept it 80s almost.
Yes.
So with the music and
the look of everything,
everything, which was cool. The visuals were amazing.
Yeah,
it was just they just had everybody. I think they thought the 80s was goofy. The 80s weren't that goofy.
The 80s was goofy, but we didn't know they were goofy. We didn't know how silly it was.
The 80s,
because it was great.
The 80s were dangerous
in terms of storytelling, Calvin.
Even the cartoons were too adult for kids. Some of the cartoons.
That's the inside joke about He-Man. That this is about a very hyper masculine gay man. That's the running joke.
So it's like I didn't like how they had He-Man like he was this TED Talk.
Because they had him focus on HR for some random reason. That there was a lot of stuff that detracted. Where it was just like, why is it going this route? What are we doing?
Spoiler alert! They had the what's the little magician name?
Socorro,
sorcerer, whatever his name is. He does all the let you know what's going to happen next time, or
he does the one. He shows up at the very end. It's an end credits scene. Yes.
So they had him come out, which he looked amazing.
He did look amazing. But he's goofy. Like if you watch him in the cartoon, he's goofy.
They could have had him in the movie and had him goofy.
They probably felt it was too. I don't understand this need to keep putting it back on Earth. We don't need him to be in Earth. Keep him in Eternia. Make it a high fantasy full film of him in Eternia. We would watch it.
And pretty much he was upset that no one on Earth believed him. So he had to bring a friend from Earth to show him that he was telling the truth, which didn't make sense because he wasn't going back to Earth anyway. So it don't even make sense.
Why
he
would he
wasn't
care? Going back at all,
Yeah.
and it was very much his friend just being like, "Cool," and that was it. Like it didn't. The payoff didn't make any sense. But the other elements of the story, I did like him having to face his parents. Cool. His beef with Skeletor. Cool. Everything else, what is it?
They also added this thing where he kills his own dad by accident, which doesn't make sense to me.
He didn't kill his dad.
Yeah, he did.
It
was an accident.
But he didn't kill him.
Didn't he get smashed from the rebel that he knocked over by accident?
But he didn't run. But he was fighting Skeletor.
So his dad was a casualty of circumstances.
Yes.
But then him have to go and face his mom right after that and tell her. Then they also touched on that he was a twin, actually, at the end, and that
Adora's there. She-Ra.
So we might have a She-Ra movie coming out, and then after do the She-Ra movie, they might meet at the end of She-Ra.
So He-Man and She-Ra both had Netflix series, animated series that ran and did well. The storytelling was great, and it was all based in their respective places. I don't know why the movies can't do this. Why we just can't have a live action hard fantasy. I don't understand.
Oh, that was He-Man.
The guy they ended up using for He-Man, I thought he did a good job as He-Man. He did a good job as Adam.
Honestly, the characters of Adam were perfectly picked because they looked alike.
They did. And he really embodied that character.
If that kid would have grown up, he would look just like the dude who they had played
the adult version.
Adult version of Adam.
Yes.
So to me, casting was fine.
Yeah.
It was just
goofy.
It was just too. It took away from the movie. For me. Just for me. Skeletor was pretty good.
Skeletor was the best part of the movie. For me. Like he was able to balance being silly and being menacing at the same time. It worked really, really well.
And his sorcerer, she was pretty good too.
Yeah.
That was Jennifer Love Hewitt, wasn't it?
No.
I don't know.
Her name is Allison.
So, like Jennifer. I said, if I had to give it a
rating,
the rating 3 thumbs out of 3 thumbs, I give it 1.5 thumbs.
Why would it be out of 3 thumbs? 5 stars, 2 thumbs.
Because I wanted to make it look better than what it really was. If we go 5 stars, it's a 1.5 star.
If we go 5 stars, I'm giving it 2. I'll give it a 2. It was still fun to watch. It was still fun.
And it was long.
It was long.
I didn't realize how long it was.
It was long. It's like almost 3 hours. It's long. But guess what? I'm going to make Calvin watch the new Mortal Kombat movie. So, we'll see.
I'll be drunk as hell when that happens.
That's crazy.
So hopefully I fall asleep.
That's crazy.
Yep.
Anything else you're watching? Did you finish Avatar?
Of course not.
Okay.
I haven't went back.
Okay, that's fair. I haven't either. That's fair.
I'm just watching. I kind of started watching 90 Day After the Night. Oh, Between the Sheets.
Okay. Pillow Talk.
Pillow Talk. Pretty much. Oh, I don't think it's. I think it's. Anywho, it's another version where you have old people past couples from 90 Days.
Yeah.
And and they're pretty much filming themselves.
The diaries.
Yeah, 90 Day Diaries.
Okay.
Yeah. And like one of the couples, it was the Mexican dude and the black chick.
She's unrecognizable.
She's unrecognizable now. She looks kind of sick. Little.
She lost a lot of weight pretty fast.
So I started to look at them, and then I got distracted.
Mm-hmm.
And I think I ended up going outside and doing some outside stuff.
Yeah.
I never got back. I'm gonna try to get back today.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, so that's what I'm gonna try to do.
Okay.
And then watch some more Dark Side of Wrestling. I was watching season 6 about Big Van Vader.
I don't know who that is.
Big Bad Van Vader. pretty much a big dude who was athletic as hell,
Okay.
but had anger issues. So, yeah,
Okay.
that's pretty much what I'm watching and doing.
You got any lyric for us?
Even the sun goes down, heroes eventually die. Horoscopes often lie, and sometimes why. Nothing is sure, nothing is for certain. Nothing lasts forever, but until it closes a curtain, it's him and I, Akuma and I.
What is Thank you for listening to We Like That podcast.
So we like that.
Go ahead and click that subscribe button. You know you want to. And rate us 5 stars. I'm Javon.
I'm Calvin.
Later, people.
And we're out.